like to share my experiences about apartment rental. That is because I was an international student myself and I have moved for 10 times within 10 years. I'm hoping that this video will help you find the right apartment as well as helping you to understand the rental process in the US better. So without further ado, let's get started. The first and foremost factor about apartment rental is budgets. 3 budget levels are limited, medium, and flexible. If you have limited budgets, there are a couple options that you can have. For example, you can rent a share rooms, which means that you share the bedroom, or you have the private bedroom but share bathroom and kitchen. Or you can stay with the host family, which means that you stay with a family where you may need to do some housework or supporting the activities in their family. Or you can rent a place from the landlord directly. So landlord is the owner of a property where they rent out their own house or their own apartment. Or you can also sublet a room. However, subletting a room can be a little bit difficult to classify. It depends on how you sublet or who allow you to sublet their rooms. It actually means the sublease agreement where you may need to negotiate and understand why and how that person would like you to rent their room. If you have a little bit more budgets, you may go to the medium option, which means that you can rent a studio or a one-bedroom apartment. So the studio means a room which you have kitchens for yourself, you have bedroom, and you also have the bathroom for yourself. However, your bedroom doesn't have a wall, so it's a part of a kitchen, which means that when you cook something, you may smell it throughout your entire bedroom. You upgrade a little bit to a one bedroom, you will have a particular wall for your bedroom. If you have flexible budgets, you may go up to like 2 bedrooms, or you can rent a condo or townhome, or you can also rent the entire house. Here are the places that you may go to search for the information about apartment rentals. If you are an international student, I would like to recommend you to search for the students or alumni associations such as the Facebook page. Budget is definitely not the only factor of apartment rental. You may need to consider about the location as well, whether how far the place is from your workplace or how far the place is from your school. You may need to think about the transportation and grocery as well, whether how far it is from the train station or the bus stop, how long do you need to walk to school. That is also very important for your daily life. And the last one that I would like to mention here is the crime rate, because it will determine the safety of the city that you choose. The next factor is time. It depends on the lease term that you choose to rent your apartment. It can be a short term, it can be 6 months, or it can be entire year. Most of the time, the entire year 12 months or 13 months are the cheapest. However, it depends on the apartment policy, but you have the flexibility to choose. Also, the move-in date is very important. If your move-in date is very close to the time that you decided to rent the apartment, the price may be different from the time that you rent the apartment well in advance. The last factor is other needs. For example, do you need a furnished or do you need unfurnished room? Which means that the apartment will prepare or put out their furniture for you, or you need to buy your furniture yourself. Or other options like whether you need the in-unit washer and dryer or not. Most of the time, the apartment without in-unit washer and dryer is cheaper. But these days, many apartments already included that washer and dryers in the unit itself. One thing to keep in mind is that all the factors mentioned in here will eventually affect the budget. You may need to increase your budget a little bit to cover some other needs that you want. Alright, let's go to the fun part about apartment rental, which is the price breakdown. That's because when you search for the apartment online, you see the price. They will not tell you about what are the other prices that you need to pay on the first day that you move in, or what is the hidden cost throughout the year. I have listed these 9 prices from my experiences that I think it would be helpful for you to figure out before you decided to rent your apartment. This is the example of the price breakdown when you decided to rent one bedroom apartment with the price of $2,000. When you included other thing else that I mentioned in here, it may comes to $2,950 for the one-time payment before move-in date. And then your monthly payment comes to $2,300. These all prices will eventually be presented in your lease contract. It means that when you sign the contract, it is your responsibility to pay this money. The last section of this video is about the rental process. If you decided to sublet or renting directly from the landlord, you may not need to follow this step. However, if you rent the apartment from the apartment company or broker, you will need to follow this process. So generally, we will start with scheduling a tour. I personally like to see the apartment before I decided to rent for the entire year. So this is optional for you. If you already decide to rent out, you will submit the application and pay the application fee. General documents that you will need to submit along with your application include the identity, proof of income. If you don't have the proof of income, you may need to have the guarantor to sign your application. You will need to fill in your social security number for them to check your credit scores and background. Sometimes the apartment also require you to submit the references from your previous rental or your workplace. Once your application is approved, you will need to pay the deposit within the X amount of days. That depending on the apartment policies, and sometimes it's like 2 to 3 days that you need to pay the deposit. Once you get everything done on and before the move-in date, you will need to pay 1 month rent, or it can be the prorate for that month. You will need to pick up the key, submit the rental insurance number, as well as the electronic accounts. For example, the PSNG provider in New Jersey or National Grid provider in Massachusetts. After you move in, you will also need to submit the check-in form. And that is very helpful because when you go around your apartment and you find out that there is something that is broken before you move in, you can record that and they will not charge you when you move out from the apartment. And the last step is just to maintain your monthly payment and then you're good to go. I think that is everything that I can think of about apartment rental. I'm hoping that you find your right apartment soon. And if you have any suggestion or you can think of anything else that will be helpful for others, please feel free to comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to Auntie Wow. We'll see you again next time with the next video. Bye! No, I don't. I don't want to move again. Please.